Going on, guys? It's Luke here of SimBoxx. Delighted this afternoon to be joined by Macauley McGowan. Macauley, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm great, man. I'm great, really good. Go to Paris tomorrow, so yeah, everything's sweet.
Yeah, that's it. So that's exactly what we're here to talk about. We're a few days away now from Fight Night out in Paris. You're taking on Farhad Saad on the boxer undercard. It's a big show. It's in
Why
Paris.
is he sad? I'm only joking.
But yeah, Macauley, you never want to shy away from a big fight on away soil. Yeah, how excited are you to be on such a big show that will be, of course, televised on Sky Sports in the UK?
Yeah, buzzing to be on Sky. To be honest, it's like what when you're a kid and stuff. That's what I remember watching, going around to my mates, watching the boxing on Sky, and you think, oh, one day I'll be on Sky. So yeah, that element of it's good. I'm not too bothered about where the big shows and like what kind of like the show is and that. I'm just bothered about my fight really. But like I say, I'm happy it's on Sky.
Yeah, so of course it's Farhad Saad in the other corner. He's undefeated. He's a little inactive. When did this opportunity come around to get this fight, Macaulay?
It was about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Uh, Joe just dead bluntly sent it me in a text, just like forward it on. So I said, "Who's this?" And he was like, "Have a look at him." So I just looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll have that." And then luckily we got it over the line. Um, yeah, a couple of weeks ago now. I'd had the fight with Daryl Sharp, and then I was straight back in the gym. I was running on a Sunday, straight back in the gym, and then I'd done a week in the gym, and then it got offered to me, so I was ready. I was ready.
How much in that time have you been able to sit down with Joe? We know how articulate Joe Gallagher is as a trainer. He likes to pick out every little bit of an opponent, good and bad. So how much have you been able to sit down with Joe and fully look at this guy?
Yeah, we've had a good look at him. Joe comes in, tells me what he believes will work and what we can work on, and he asks for my opinion, tells me to go away and have a look, and we come to a mutual agreement, and we think, yeah, well, then that's going to work, and over time it gets more and more. Um, I forgot the word. We get more repetitive with it, and it does become second nature into our game. Then what we need to do.
Absolutely. So of course with Saad, he's 8-0. I think he's got one draw on his record as well, but he has been inactive in the time that he's been out of the ring. You've had four fights. Do you think inactivity could play a part in this fight that you have been so active and that he might have a little bit of ring rust?
Yeah, I think that puts you in a better position. Don't get me wrong, if he'd been totally active and the fight got offered to me, I'd still say, yeah, I'd still beat him, But when you look at elements like that, because I've had time out the ring before and come back in 4 rounds against lesser opposition, and I've known how hard it is. So to have 2 years out and come back against me, who's going to be there in front of him, making him miss, there on in constant over 8 rounds, then it might go against him, it might not, but I still believe, I'm still confident I'll win. So.
So you say there that you're confident of getting victory, which is good to hear. It's not like you're one of these fighters, Macaulay, that will just take a fight for taking its sake. You go there with a winning mentality. What have you and Joe sat down, and you can't give away too much of the game plan, of course, but when you've sat down with Joe, what is it you've seen that this guy does well and not so well? What do you feel like you can capitalise on?
I think he does well. I think he's stylish. He's a bit of a looks like he's a bit of a moaner, to be honest. Bit of a prima donna. I don't know. Yeah, I just have a slight feeling that I'll have his number. I just have a good feeling.
Macaulay, with the way that you like your antics, you're always having fun. You've always got a smile on your face. If he's a bit of a moaner and a bit of a whinger, I think you're the character wise as well as a fight. But even as a character, you're the last person he wants to be running into.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll wind him up anyway, and if I've got to do what I've got to do to get the win. So I hope he's prepared.
Absolutely. So of course, naturally, he's slightly the bigger man as well. Macaulay, has that played a factor in the game plan that you and Joe have formulated?
No, like you fight. I fought bigger people. I fought smaller people. I spar bigger people all the time. Like he's naturally bigger. Like it is what it is. I've said it in another interview I had. Like someone started on you outside, just fucking have it, wouldn't you? Like you would say, "Oh, no, mate, you need to get a few kilos down," or "How tall are you?" You wouldn't care. But then when a fight's offered to you and you've got 3 weeks' notice and it's in a controlled environment with a ref, and it's a sporting occasion, all of a sudden size becomes a massive factor. But we've had 3 weeks now of looking at him, looking at what he does well, looking at what he does wrong, and what I do well, and how that can go against each other and stuff. So, and I don't think it is what it is. Like, I fought bigger people. It doesn't bother me.
Now, Macauley, last time we spoke was just a matter of weeks ago. As you mentioned, you got that victory over Daryl Sharp on the Kieran Farrell show. And we spoke there after the fight that you thought about getting back into domestic title contention, maybe an English title, and build up towards British title level. With this fight being a bit of a curveball, a big opportunity, how does that land in your plans of trying to get into title contention on the domestic scene?
Well, I win, and it gives me. I've got a good win then. You know what I mean? On my record, a good 8-round victory over an unbeaten lad. So, maybe. So I think it'll boost that. Straight into an English, or might even get a voluntary for a British or something like that. No one's lining up to fight Josh Kelly, are they? I don't know what his plans are, but no one's lining up to fight him as it seems. So, I'll just keep winning, do my thing, and that's where I want to go towards the English British. I think it fits right into me. Plans, it boosts me up even higher, I think, maybe.
Of course, Macauley, speaking to you, there seems to be a different aura about you these days, a more focused Macauley McGowan. You, of course, took the big fights on late notice, maybe, with all due respect, maybe a lack of preparation, but big events that you can't really turn down. But now there seems to be that focus, that plan. Is this a different Macauley McGowan heading into 2023?
Of course, yeah. Like I say, I got the win over Daryl early in Feb. Like, normally, barring the year before, but normally in Feb, I'm giving it, wait till April, wait till May, wait till June, and when I'm in shape. But, this time I was just out there doing it in the gym, fighting, and by staying in the gym, by fighting, this one's come off the back of it now. And I just believe it's felt at the right time, and the consistency over last year, even though I took a defeat early on, and I just believe, like, the good's coming, and all I've got to do is stay focused on the task and just give it me everything, and not shy away from giving it me everything. That's probably what I've done in the past, shied away from going all in case of, I don't know, as a protection, but really I'm going all in, and it is what it is.
Absolutely. How much of a part does having Joe Gallagher there as support and as a mentor and as a trainer, how much of an influence does he have on that mindset of putting you on the straight and narrow, if you like, Macauley, with your boxing career?
Yeah, like, I've always been going in the right, in committed to an extent, but maybe not in the right direction. And he's kind of just like narrowed it, put the blinkers on a bit more, and said, no, this is what we're doing. Like, major part of, like, me and the way I am these days, and me just growing up really in life and boxing, probably comes down to Joe. So yeah, having him in the corner, like, I just trust him 100% with what he's telling me, what advice he's giving me, how I should, his opinion on things, which I don't have to take, but his opinion holds weight. And I believe in my career over years and years, I've let too many people feel like they've had a bit more of an opinion than they should have had. Like, their opinion holds weight, and I think, like, pulled in different directions of what I should listen to and what I shouldn't. Whereas when I come to Joe, I just listen to him, and that's it. And some people get upset by the fact that I probably don't listen to him as much anymore or whatever. I just listen to Joe, but it's working.
Absolutely. Now, Macauley, with this fight taking place in Paris, of course, you're still in the UK at the minute. Does that make it a little bit easier with the build-up, that you don't have to travel to a different country to kind of acclimatise, if you like, that you can leave it till Wednesday or Thursday of fight week before you have to fly out to the event?
Yeah, what are they, an hour ahead? Yeah, it's buzzing. It's just, I think I got coached to Belgium once for school, and we drove through France. So yeah, it's good though, innit? You just get a nice little flight, and you fight, and you come home. It is nice.
Absolutely. So, Macauley, away from your fight, I've seen on social media, such as social media in the modern era, you've been very vocal on a certain Mr. Conor Benn. I wanted to get your opinion on this interview recently. I can see with a smile on your face that you almost expected this to come, but it's the hot topic in boxing at the minute. What did you make of the decision, firstly, of Conor Benn to sit down with Piers Morgan, of all people, to put across his side of the story?
Well, the fact that I wrote with Piers Morgan says everything. Two little twats getting together in it. It's like the both. Like, why Piers Morgan, man? I don't know. I think it's been a car crash. I think it's been a proper car crash, and like he's playing the victim now. He is playing the victim. What I was thinking about it, I was thinking, imagine, right, if he had fought someone and made them seriously damaged or injured him in a brutal way, and then that person's family is watching their loved one getting hurt or seriously not well, and you got then him who's been caught on steroids running round, blooding playing the victim, and I haven't done it. Listen, it's blatant as anything that he's done it, and now he's playing. It's just it frustrates me, man. I just see him like putting his finger up at the camera. It's like he's doing it now on purpose to be a dickhead. Like he's like he wants to be a dickhead, and I think you had the world at your feet. People loved you, like you were Nigel Benn's son. People loved you, and you've just gone and done this. And if he's not guilty, then why has he acted the way he has? Like if you're not guilty, like be a bit more transparent with the way you're approaching things, or just be a bit fucking nicer. Instead, you went radio silence and put these like subliminal little messages here, there, and everywhere. You just become across a right dickhead. But yeah, don't know how you deal with it.
Yeah, Macaulay, we say that, we know that he's got the two failed drug tests. That's the one certain that we do have. He's, of course, testing his innocence. But do you believe there should have been someone there? Maybe his dad, maybe Eddie Hearn or somebody like that. The way you were saying earlier about how Joe Gallagher will share his opinion with you, you know for a fact that if Joe Gallagher was in his position, he'd take him away from the limelight. But do you feel like someone should have been there for Conor Benn and said, you know what, until we've got the definitive answers for everything that we need, stay away from social media, stay away from TV cameras, and let's sort this out properly?
I think his head's just gone with it, Anna. It's the ego in it. No, 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 no. I'll do this, and he's probably got offered a lot of money to go on Piers Morgan. Just thought, fuck it. You know what I mean? So probably did get offered a lot of money and thought, fuck it, I'll do that. And he's probably at a stage where he thinks everyone's against him. So he's took it into his own hands. It's been a car crash, hasn't it? It has, but he hasn't helped himself. But like I say, whether it's good or bad publicity, it's all publicity. And when he does have a fight, because he will have a fight, because governing bodies and everyone else is soft as shit. He'll have a fight again in wherever, and he'll get paid triple the amount he was probably going to get paid anyway. And it's just like, how do you deal with drugs in boxing? It's fucking mad. Like you get caught on drugs and it boosts your profile.
You mentioned there about his next fight and the money you could earn from it. But Macaulay, talking about a potential fight with Manny Pacquiao for Conor Benn next. What do you think of that?
Fuck hell, Manny Pacquiao's gonna end up in retirement, and Conor Benn's gonna be juiced out his head. What sort of fight is that?
Macaulay, from one hot topic in boxing to another, I wanted to get your opinion on before we close off. What did you make of the whole? We're a couple of weeks removed from it, but what did you make of the whole Jake Paul Tommy Fury situation? That fight out with Saudi Arabia, they made a lot of money. That was controversial for right or wrong reasons. I think it produced a fairly decent fight. But what was your opinion on the situation and the fight?
I thought it was great. I thought it was great, to be honest. Bit horrible that Badu Jack was in a little barnstormer with Makabu the fight before for a world title. That was co-main event, but it just captured the imagination. And if we're gonna buy into it and stuff, then they're gonna keep doing it, aren't they? And with boxing fans, you just want to see even fights. So it don't matter if it's if what level it's at. If it's even and we don't know who's gonna win, people tune in, as you can see. So it doesn't matter what level it is, whether it's world level, novice level, or whatever. If like you go to an amateur show and two lads, you don't know either of them, and you don't know who's going to win though. They just go at it, and you think, wow, that was a fight. Whereas we miss that a lot in actual professional boxing. So the fact that Jake Paul was fighting Tommy, and it probably was disrespectful for Tommy for it to be called like a 50-50, but it did capture the imagination as a 50-50, and everyone thought, wow, you don't know who's going to win this. They're both novice professionals, and Jake Paul's got a massive following, it is, and Tommy Fury had a massive following. So you just like, so it was good. I thought I was well into it, mate.
Absolutely. Will you be as equally invested in the rematch? They're saying that that's going to land next, maybe in July. Would you be equally as invested in a rematch if and when that happens?
Yeah, yeah, I will. Because Tommy will, go away and train hard, and Jake Paul will probably improve more. Will he improve much to beat Tommy the next time? But I think he'll improve more than Tommy would improve in that time, if you get what I mean. In the duration from the first fight to the second fight, Jake will improve more than Tommy will because he knows less. So and the amount of work he puts in, he probably will improve more. But whether that's enough to beat Tommy, I don't know. But yeah, he probably needs to get fitter. Above Jake Paul's a human at the end of the day. Away from all the bullshit and all that, the occasion kind of got to him a bit because he was tired in there. So maybe he might deal with the occasion better next time.
Absolutely. We wait to see how that develops. Macauley, I'll let you get back to your day. We wish you the best of
Yeah,
luck for Saturday, and I'm sure we'll catch up again real soon.
yeah, top man, Luke. Appreciate your time, mate.